Hey, great Sunday morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Cesar Mascoro Jr. with Manufactured Home Sales Mastery in for our Sunday Recharge, episode 228 of 15 Minutes to Mastery. And I want to wish all the dads out there a happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, everyone. As Billy Graham says here in the quote, a good father is one of the most unsung, unpraised, unnoticed, and yet one of the most valuable assets in our society. And how very true that is. Welcome once again. It's Father's Day out here today. Hope you guys are doing well. Cesar Mascoro. And, we know it, we hear it, we feel it, right? Our feelings get hurt when we stop to think about how, man, what's the big deal with, why is there no big deal made about Father's Day? It's nowhere near the same as Mother's Day. But hey, that's all right. It is what it is, man. To all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Hope you're enjoying your morning so far and that you're able to enjoy it with your family, with your children, um, if they are near around you, but if not, some of us have children that are other parts of the country. But that's what it's about, right? It's about watching them grow. It's about watching them spread their wings and being able to uh, take care of themselves and live a full life, like hopefully you have as well. And so, with that being said, that's why this morning wanted to go ahead and come in and talk about Father's Day, talk about dads, and talk about what we do, right? Because one of the most important things, I don't know what your religious belief is, but here, or what your beliefs are on God, right? But here, my house, we as the scripture goes, we serve the Lord, right? So Psalms 127:3 says, children are an inheritance from God. So as a dad, we've inherited one of the best inheritance that one could have. And that comes directly from God. If you have been blessed enough to be a father and have children uh, that look to you to be that leader, to be that mentor, to be that person that guides them, well, congratulations, because it's a great thing, man. It's an awesome feeling. We've got 5 kids. I've got 5 kids, and each and every one of them is completely different, and they range from 30 years old to 6 years old. And the older two are off doing their own thing. And you guys hear all the time about the 3 that we have still here at home. And, but each and every one of them have their own personality. It's amazing how they develop into their own. And I always described it this way, even with our youngest, Sebastian, a 6-year-old, and watching him go from infant to toddler to little boy where he is now. And it's amazing to watch them develop. It's amazing to see how they go from this small child that cannot do anything for themselves, and then they begin to grow and start to crawl, right? Start to say a few things or sounds, and then it turns into a word or two, and then that word or two turns into 3 or 4 words, and then it becomes sentences, and they're talking and they're walking, and you're like, wow, that's a little human. Um, and that responsibility is so huge. It's a beautiful thing, but it's also a huge responsibility, right? Because as the dad, as a father, you're a provider, leader, mentor, all these things that you've got to roles you've got to fill, and at the same time be a mentor, provide unconditional love, and just be supportive along the ways, right? But at the same time, you've got to have those boundaries. You got to make sure you're setting the boundaries for for them as they grow. And that's just one of the things that we can't overlook, is that the importance of it. Because who wouldn't get endeared to their children? And sometimes because of that, we lose sight of the fact that we want to make sure that they are growing up and understanding the right things. So you have a huge responsibility, man. It's crazy. but like Billy Graham said, it's one of the most unnoticed, unpraised, jobs in the world. But I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's just been an amazing thing, and I'm sure that you dads out there, man, that take the role seriously, can understand where I'm coming from, and I want to make sure that you guys receive the praise that you deserve. Okay, each and every one of you, and the father figures out there as well, the uncles, the grandfathers. You guys, we all. It takes a village, right? It takes a village, and we want to make sure that we're all doing our part. We're helping and doing that. You know, um, at my house, it's crazy. It's circus around here, right? Three boys and myself, and then my wife, completely outnumbered, right? But one of the things is that making sure that our children are growing up the way that they should be, at least in our opinion, right? And that they develop into someone who's going to be a contributing factor within society. That's what's important to me. I want my children to be leaders. I want my children to be able to contribute to society in a positive manner. And I want them to be strong. I want my boys to be confident. I want my boys to be loving at the same time, right? But never lose sight of what it means to be a great person and a great man. Our oldest, she's the 30-year-old. She's the only female of the group, right? Four boys, one girl. And with her, it's about being a contributing factor to society, and leader as a female. You know, and we do the same thing with our boys, because that's just the way that it should be. And so for you guys out there, man, I know it's tough. I know it's rough. And we've just, if you're anything like me, you get in the zone where you're just doing what you got to do, and you don't even really pay attention to the fact that, uh, you're not going in there looking for that praise. You're just getting it done because it has to get done. Right. And it's not just one day out of the year, it's every day. And you guys deserve, you gentlemen out there deserve all the praise for being the great fathers that you are, right? Because we want to make sure that we're being that provider for our family, both financially and emotionally. Now, it's tough for me emotionally. I'm the first to admit to you that, especially now with traveling as much, I get it. There's some sacrifices that we're making. I was just about to say that's a big sacrifice, but we're making some sacrifice. But that's part of being a provider, financially, emotionally, right? With what they need, and leading the way by example, hard work, integrity, responsibility, guidance. The Bible also says, right, in Proverbs 13:24, that the one who loves their children is going to be careful about disciplining. And that's something that's big with me, is the discipline, and making sure that when you mess up, you messed up. We got to deal with it. We're going to have to deal with it. There's got to be consequences, because if not, then that's what you get, all that craziness that's going on in the world right now, because there is no consequence. There has been no consequence to it for a lot of those folks. Being a mentor, right? Being a mentor to your children, teaching them life skills. So our oldest, our 18-year-old, I'll give you this example. Our 18-year-old, right? You guys know that he wants to be a filmmaker. So right now he's in the middle of shooting his most recent and his biggest project to date. And so we built some props for the film. A couple of them being some chalkboards, some large chalkboards, and so we had to transport them yesterday to where he was filming. And so as they were done, I showed up to be able to get that loaded up on the truck, and you see these boys because he's got some other boys helping him out. You see these boys struggling to figure out how to strap these things down, how to tie knots on ropes. I'm like, gosh, they just don't teach us this stuff anymore. We as parents, that's our job. That's our job, is to help them be able to live life, right? Teaching them those life skills, those practical skills, and so that they can do. And is tying a knot important? Is it going to be life changing? Probably so. I'm not even going to say it's not. At some point in time, they're going to be moving something somewhere. They're going to need to know how to do that, right? Even if it's just for moving furniture, it's important. So get out there and teach them. Help them learn how to change things, build things, work with tools, those kinds of things, right? But that unconditional love, man, it's crazy how you can be both enforcer and, at the same time, that you would do anything for them. It's just it's an incredible bond that gets formed. And my wife gets on me a lot, saying that, thinking that I could be more affectionate. And I believe that I'm very affectionate with my kids, especially the three boys that are still at home. Right. And, but there's nothing that I wouldn't do. Obviously, you give your life for your children. Right. And it's just amazing to think that no matter what happens, no matter how bad it gets, they'll always be your children. And they're always going to be, there's always going to be that soft spot, right, in your heart for them. So to you dads out there, man, thank you for all that you do, because society needs you to be an influential part of your children's lives. Help them develop into the people that you feel that they should be, right? Help them chase their dreams. Help them learn to be independent and very, very effective within society, so that they can take care of themselves, be able to function in society, and grow, and make sure that's the one thing that I say. I just want to be sure that when I am no longer here, that I'm sitting there laying in bed, about to take my last breath, that I can rest assured knowing that my children can take care of themselves. They no longer need me to be around. And I can rest assured with that's my goal right now. And that's why I push them as hard as I do. That's why I try and teach them as much as I do. And that's why I encourage you to go out and do the same. So happy Father's Day. You guys enjoy it. Live it up. But don't forget to plan out the week ahead. All right. There's still work to be done all the time. All right. With that being said, I'm going to be in Orlando this week, Orlando, Florida. So if you're in Orlando, Florida, you're a retailer community, reach out to me. Let's sit down. Let's talk. All right. Be out in Orlando, and I'll be speaking, doing a live training out there. And then we're back at it after that. So you guys have a great Father's Day. All right. Enjoy it, and have a great week coming up ahead. And as always, I can't wait to meet you.